Valley, what's going on today, man? Listen, week 4. Commissioner Duke's back again with another weekly recap for Murder Valley's Finest League 2023. Not a whole lot going on this week. There was a T-Swift spotting, of course, at the Chiefs game again, but I'm sick and tired of talking about it. We went over enough last week. So let's jump in to the highlights of the week 4 matchups.
Hot route! Red 7, red 7, red 7!
Look for me in the end zone after this play. I'll be the guy holding the ball.
John!
What?
Red 7!
I don't know what red 7 means.
Hot route!
I don't. What is hot route?
Will you just go stand on the other side, please?
Matchup number 1, yours truly, $5 footlong taking on Team Burris. Knocks him out 165-122 to go 3-1 on the season. I start off my week completely in the hole. Thursday night, Packers and Lions. Finally was able to watch Packers game all the way through because I'm not paying $673 million for YouTube TV and the NFL Sunday Ticket. So I got Amazon Prime Thursday night games. Sit down, bowl of popcorn, beer in hand, ready to go. Aaron Jones, 2 points. Luke Musgrave, tight end. I take a flyer, 1 point. Son of a bitch. Luckily, come Sunday, the rest of my team stepped up in a big way. Jalen Hurts with 319 yards and 2 TDs with 30 points. Devontae Adams, shaky first half, ends up getting 8 receptions for 75 yards in the second half of the game. And of course, Stephon Diggs in a big way. 6 catches, 120 yards, and 3 TDs. DJ Moore, outstanding. 8 catches, 131 yards, and a touchdown. The Bears actually looked okay. I mean, Justin Fields went for 4 TDs that game. I had the Seahawks D rolling into Monday night against the Giants. Should have been a blowout, and it was. 24-3 the final on that game. The Seahawks get 29 fantasy points. Zach gets decent but civilian outings from almost every slot on his team this week, except for his kicker. Jake Elliott with 18 points is his highest scoring player. Kind of a sad outing. Ends up falling to me, 165-122, and goes 2-2 on the season. I remain first place in the division.
You motorboating son of a bitch, you old sailor, you.
Matchup number 2, Ashton versus DJ. Chaco Dave with the win, 138-93 over Ashton this week. Lamar Jackson with 35 fantasy points, goes for 4 total touchdowns this week, and actually gets a huge bounce back game from Derrick Henry. 122 yards and 2 total touchdowns, 1 on the ground and 1 through the air. Dominant first round pick, of course. Mild outings from the rest of the team, and the Packers get him 0 points with a goose egg in his defensive spot on Thursday night. For Ashton, he has Brock Purdy stringing together a decent number of games. Scores 26 fantasy points this week, and Bijan Robinson even has an additional 18. Terry McLaurin is highlight this week at 22 points in his flex spot. But unfortunately, Ashton's taken his 4th loss, is 0-4 on the league in last place. Not a great place to be, but season's still early. We got 12 more weeks of this shit before playoffs. Chaco Day with the final, 138-93. He goes to 3-1. Big matchup time. The third matchup this week, Jason with 197 points takes out Luke and hands him his 3rd loss. Luke has had a string of bad beats, and this week was no exception. Luke is one of the highest scorers in the league this season, however, continues to play everybody on their best weeks. If he would have played anybody else in the rest of the league, probably would have snuck out a dub. But unfortunately, he plays the league high scorer, 197-164. Luke gets a huge outing from Christian McCaffrey with 48 points, dude. 4 touchdowns on the ground through the air. Christian McCaffrey, RB1. Even Isaiah Pacheco snuck in with 24 fantasy points. Actually has one of his best outings of the season. However, Jason seems to have struck gold in Anthony Richardson. 3 total touchdowns with 200 yards through the air, 37 fantasy points. And A.J. Brown in overtime for the Eagles, 9 catches, 175 yards, and 2 TDs. Dude, that's a force to be reckoned with over there. Alvin Kamara, on his first week back, gets 21 fantasy points. And Jason's defense, once again, a shining star. Not that star. Fuck that star. 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, 2 fumble recoveries, and only 3 points allowed for the Cowboys. That seems to be defense number 1, ladies and gentlemen. Jason goes to 2-2. Luke falls to 1-3. 197-164 the final. Matchup number 4. Raymond versus Jolo. The slimmest of margins once again. It seems like every week there's a game that is decided by just a couple points and there's no exception here. 107 to 105, Raymond sneaks out the win. Patrick Mahomes with a mediocre outing, 13 combined points from Raymond's running back, and his all-star continues to be Puka Nacua. Another huge game for the Rams' #1 wide receiver. As of now, of course, we do look forward to next week getting Cooper Kupp back as long as he's cleared and able to come back. But the star is Puka. 9 catches, 163 yards, and a touchdown. The guy seems to be unstoppable, continues to break records, and looks fantastic. That'll probably go down as the steal of the waiver wires this season. Jolo was able to snag Devin Achane from Miami off the waivers this week, and he did not disappoint. 101 yards, 2 touchdowns, 26 fantasy points. But it's not enough. As a matter of fact, Devin Achane outscores Jolo's starting running backs and wide receivers combined. He goes to 2-2 on the season. Raymond goes to 3-1, sneaks out the win by 2 points, 107-105. What can you do? And our last matchup this week, matchup number 5, another close one. It's not a 2-point difference, but actually a 6-point difference, with Tyler beating Travis 116 to 110. Tyler actually had a decent outing. Josh Jacobs is going to be his highlight player this week. 58 yards total on the ground and a touchdown, along with a few catches to go along with it. 27 fantasy points. Justin Jefferson, pick number 1, 26 points. Solid. Travis's receivers take a backseat this week, combining for a total of less than 30 points. His highlight was actually Mark Andrews. His tight end gets 25 fantasy points on 5 catches, 80 yards, and 2 TDs. Even Jordan Love was able to string together a double-digit game, but the Packers, of course, got their shit kicked in on Thursday night. Another week with another defense with negative points, and this week it was Pittsburgh. Tyler was probably sitting there clenching his asshole thinking, what the fuck's going on? As the Texans blow out the Steelers 30-6, and Tyler ends up with -6 points from his defensive position. Now, of course, what's a recap without a celebrity guest appearance, right? So to touch a little bit more about matchup number 5, I bring you this gentleman.
Yeah.
Hey, what's good? Murder Valley's finest. It's your boy T Shafes, the owner, proud owner of Orange Crush, standing 2-2. I am at the Stater Brothers Store 69 in Riverside. Shout out A-Fern 5150. And the commissioner has been gracious enough to allow me to share my thoughts on the week. I am really happy to squeak that win by this week. It's a damn shame when you see the second lowest scoring team play the lowest scoring team, but hey, a dub is a dub. And being a Broncos fan, I'm gonna take what I can get, because right now I ain't getting shit. We beat Chicago, but that's about the same as me saying Simon won the flag football game this week, which he did, and I really see no difference there. Grabbing some popcorners here. I got the kids with me. Ruthie, say hi.
Hi.
Simon, say hi.
Hi.
Simon, Ruthie, they say hi. And I got a shout out, of course, my favorite quarterback in the NFL at the moment, Joe Burrow. Just great performances by him. Highest paid quarterback in the NFL, and it's really showing. You know, he almost hit double digits this week in fantasy points, and I just, man, we're gonna see it. We're gonna see it. If anybody wants to trade a quarterback, let me know. Really disappointed in my quarterback. Really disappointed in my my running backs. Really disappointed in my wide receivers. I don't have much. My bench is about as deep as my well, I don't want to get too inappropriate. I'm here in a Stater hose. Joe Burrow's on the block. You know, don't trip over yourselves trying to get to me for the trade. Shout out Bud Light, me and DJ's favorite beer. We're the representation in our group of those who choose an alternative lifestyle, and this one's for you, DJ. This one's for me. I read an article that said that Taylor Swift was dating Travis Kelce, so I think that's pretty notable. That's the most exciting thing to come out of Kansas City since barbecue. I am rocking the Drake shirt. Furthest from perfect, like everyone I know, but I still be fucking on the low, if you know what I mean. And shout out Schaefer Building Company. You know, I'm out here hitting it, getting it, flipping it, ripping it. I'm building half of Riverside as we speak. Not really, I'm actually really slow, so if you guys got any leads, go ahead and throw them my way. Okay, thanks, great. One last thing, word of advice. If you're gonna have a psychotic break, let's try to not have it in the group chat. If you got beef, leave it in the fucking freezer at Stater Brothers where it fucking belongs, gentlemen. This is Murder Valley's finest.
Stop crying like a little girl.
I wasn't crying like a little girl.
Why don't you try getting jacked off under the table in front of the whole damn family and have some real problems, jackass?
So tighten up, get it tight, get it right. Miss New Booty, go Broncos. I still believe. Let's see you guys all in the 5th week. Keep it tight.
Absolutely, Tyler McGeiler. Thanks for chiming in. Way to pick up that win and go 2-2. Beat Travis this week, 116-110. All right, and we've come to the end. So this week's high score, rock out with my Brock out. Jason Thomas with 197 points is your week 4 high scoring team, and your week 4 low scorer is Ashton. RIP Odell, 93 points this week. It's a rough one, man. Special shout out to Tyler. Thank you for being in the video. If you're interested in being featured in next week's recap, go ahead and slide in the DMs. Let me know your thoughts, what you'd like to share with the rest of the league. Enjoy your weekend. I'll be out of town. I'm going to Vegas, watching the Packers take on the Raiders Monday night. Should whoop their ass. Look for me on the Jumbotron. You'll see me. Commish out.